Hey, hello fellow drone enthusiasts, and of course a big shout out to my friends at the Drone Seekers. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Got something kind of new today that I have alluded to on some earlier videos. Picked up a DJI Spark and a Spark controller. So my friend Ron Brown over at RC World put up a link on his RC World Facebook page that Banggood, one of the Chinese online retailers, had the Spark on sale for $235. Well, I'm a sucker for a bargain, so I couldn't refuse that. Now, if you're a regular on my channel, you know that I've got a DJI Mavic 2 Zoom, I've got a Phantom 4, I've got a Hubsan Zeno, but I always wondered about the Spark, and I have a lot of friends at the Drone Seekers that fly it. You know, a shout out to Sean Matthews. He has done some amazing things with the Spark. Jackie Akers, her videos are always amazing, and she just uses the Spark as her only quad, and she takes some amazing stuff. Chris Pickering over at the Just Camera and Drone channel, or Just Drone and Camera, I can't remember which. Anyway, Chris, sorry if I got that wrong. But he recently got a Spark, and he's doing some pretty cool things with it. And I guess the combination of the value of it, and I could see the portability and being able to just throw it in your pocket, hand launch, hand land, that sort of thing could be really handy in certain situations. So nobody has really done much of a review, I think, on the Spark for a few years. So with some fresh eyes here, I thought I would take a look at it. Now, as you can see on this box here, there's a pretty good crunch on the end. That is typical of any shipment I've ever received from Banggood. They're not really great at packaging, but as long as the product inside is okay, that's all I care about. Oh, I should also mention that the remote controller, I picked that up off of DJI's website, and I used my DJI, not Refresh, DJI Select account, where they give you, I think it cost $29 to become a DJI Select member, and it's more than paid for itself for me. So I recommend it, and that it's something that you do. So anyway, what it gave me was, I believe it was a 20% discount on this. So I paid $95 for the controller. So I'm into the whole thing for $330, which is pretty reasonable when you consider. I was looking at some old videos today. In fact, Ed Ricker's video I was looking at in an attempt to kind of get my hands around and kind of learn the Spark a little bit, his introduction video. And when this first came out, just the Spark would have been $500, and if you would have got the Spark with the Fly More combo, which would give you an extra battery, that was $700 at that time. So I feel like I got a pretty good bargain here at $330. And there's a lot of rumors flying around that DJI this month in April is potentially introducing a new version of the Spark. Hey, that might be why Banggood was blowing them out of their warehouse so cheap, but and they sold out really fast, by the way. But however, it's still a bargain as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, let's quit messing around and let's open this stuff up. So let's start with the Spark itself here. I guess it just opens on the end here, I presume. Oh, I guess we got so we have a seal here. That's kind of cool. It says Spark on there. So cut the seal, and open she comes. So it looks like we've got a couple of a case and some other goodies here. So let's slide the big dog out first, and it gives you a little paper thing to hang on to. Looks like I tore that pretty quick. Oh, and it gives you DJI Care, some information there. And let's pull this out and we'll set this lovely spark box aside. That crunch in the corner didn't seem to hurt anything, so that's good. So, which side do we open first? Since the DJI logo is on the top there, I would assume that's the top, and in fact it is. So yeah, it's kind of a handy little case here, and look at that attractive little guy. Yeah, so I in the past had a Mavic Air, kind of comparing in size, it's definitely smaller. Honestly, it's smaller than I thought it would be. Attractive little guy. One of the things that I always tell people on when we're talking about the Xeno, people complain about the Xeno that it moves around a little bit. Well, the difference is, if you look at the Spark here, it's got not only a down-facing camera, but some infrared sensors on the bottom to help it know where it's at in space. And then it's got some sensors in here, a camera in here. Or, I don't know if it's a camera or infrared, but it helps it know where it's at in space. And of course, the main camera itself, I'm sure, plays a part in that and recognizing where it's at. So it makes it a very stable drone. The battery, yeah, there we go. I just pulled that out and it slides back. And then, yeah, let's see. Yeah, it slides in with a good little click there. So, so let's pull this off, and let's see how much battery we have here. Yeah, typically this battery is completely dead, so I'm sure there's an activation process there. Usually you click on it and it'll give you lights that'll tell you how much power is in the battery. So who knows how long this one has been sitting on the store shelves, but man, those cute little folding props. It is an attractive little drone, and gosh, the more I look at it, the more I'm excited about getting it up in the air. So yeah, let's set her back down here for a second, and let's see what's in this little package. Looks like, yeah, just a couple of props. So I'm not going to pull those out. It's just 2 extra props, I assume, of each kind, because they do rotate differently. The white tipped ones rotate one way, and well, excuse me, I guess they're all white tipped, but there's the ones that are marked with the motor that's marked with white, and the white ring here, they rotate one direction, and the ones that are black here rotate the other. Okay, let's pretty simple little deal here. Let's open this box up and see what we got going. Documentation. More documentation. Battery. Oh, this stuff is all yeah. This is 100% in Chinese. Yeah, there's no English here, so that tells me that this was intended for sale in China, although I can say that this was shipped to me from Banggood's US warehouse. So let's see what else we got here. Yeah, anybody that can read that, let me know. And let's see, looks like we've got a charging cable here, or maybe not a charging cable. USB cable of some sort. We'll figure that out. Oh yeah, I didn't. Yeah, it's Spark Alpine White CN, so Chinese version. Looks like I need to open the other end here. So indeed this is a charging cable, because this appears, yeah, this is just the little charger. Yeah, it's a very small little charger, USB there, so then I would assume that plugs into the battery. And take a look in the box here. Yeah, that's everything. So so that's what we got, and yeah, we'll get this little guy up and flying. While we're here, we might as well open up the controller, and I'm sure that's something I'm going to have to bind to the aircraft. I'm just going to drop this in here. Okay, the Spark controller, and I guess I probably should mention that the controller, unless you buy the Fly More package. Hold it, I take that back. I believe now that DJI, you can buy the Spark and the controller in a package. In fact, I believe that's the only way they sell it now. At the time, the Spark was sold separate. Or maybe as a refurb, I think you can still buy the Spark without the controller. But in any case, the Spark can be flown with just your mobile phone or an iPad, etc., or it can be flown with hand gestures. But I'm used to flying with a controller, so I thought it was worth my while to pick one up. And the Spark is a Wi-Fi product, so I'm gonna have to do some more research. I see a lot of guys talking about using an OTG cable. I think your mobile device connects to the controller via Bluetooth. Don't quote me on that. I don't know for certain. And then the controller to the drone via Wi-Fi, or otherwise you can use an OTG cable, because I've seen posts about that. So, but I'm not the expert. So here we go. Typical. To anybody that's used to a Mavic or of any sort, the original Mavic, the Mavic 2 or the Mavic Air, and I've owned all three of those, this is a very familiar controller, although it appears to be a simplified version. What you don't have is the display at the top that you get on the Mavic 2 and the Mavic Pro. The Mavic Air, I believe, as I recall, did not have a display up there either, but you know, pretty simplified on this little guy. So yeah, and it looks like I see there is a USB-C connector there, not on the side like I'm used to on the other ones. So yeah, you should be able to yeah, it looks like you can hook it up via OTG cable if you like. I don't know that that's necessary. So I think I've heard people say that you can get more range if you use an OTG cable. But yeah, so so it looks like you got a pause button that flips it into sport mode. Let me take a look at some other stuff here. Function button, I'm not sure. I'll have to read up on that. On and off button right there, that's to turn the controller on and off. This is the return home and land button right here. And then typical of all DJI Mavic controllers, and the Spark included, push this button to record, this button to take a picture. This button, I believe, is programmable, and this controls the gimbal up and down, the little thumb wheel there. So pretty simple little control. And it too would be charged via this USB-C slot down here. So I'm assuming there's no charger in the box here. So I'm assuming that that the same charger that you used to charge the Spark itself is what we'll use to charge the controller. So, all of that said, no kind of gimbal guard too, which is kind of unusual for, there's no gimbal guard on this guy at all. which I've heard complaints about that too, but you know, they must be comfortable with it in such a way, because you know, a lot of people, you're just going to throw this in a backpack or something. So okay, here we are, the Spark Alpine White and a Spark controller. Next video we'll get this thing out and fly it, and we'll try out a few things and see what we can do. So this is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out, and if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel, and most of all, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.